Welcome back to Sip the Tally Films. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and today's midday video, I had to do a little pivot. I had to do Omaha. I had to check because originally today's video was going to be about the wide receiver depth chart, basically the list of guys we got and where they fit in. Potentially who's going to make it, who's not, who's in, who's out. But after seeing this on Twitter this morning, I pivoted and felt like I wanted to talk about it. So before we get into it, I want to thank Michael Crawford for becoming a Sip the Tally family member via the Patreon. Also want to say what's up to Brandon Bazell and Naughty Nard for also being family members from the Patreon. Also our newest Patreon members that go along with Michael Crawford are Jordan, Wayne, and Jonathan. Appreciate you guys for joining the Patreon. Again, a lot of films going to be coming over there. We did long form film last night on Zay Flower, so that's out there. And we'll be doing Trenton Simpson today. But let's get into it. And I got my computer right here, so crazy, full disclosure. I screenshotted these so I could talk about them while recording this video, forgetting that I'm using my phone to record this video. So I got my laptop here, and I'm going to kind of read on it. And we're talking about Jason Canfora. And he was, kind of challenged by somebody on Twitter. And he says, basically, he's a black hole of negativity, and he needs to eat crow based off what he said about the Ravens organization. And so I'm going to read each tweet in his reply, because he replied about 6 or 7. He fired off. His Twitter fingers got to working. And he said, and if you haven't seen it, this is still on Twitter. They wasted Lamar's cheapest 5 years by any standard. They lied about going cash over cap and being all in and saved their billionaire owner dollars, while Diggs, Hopkins, Brown, Hill, and others were traded. They sold you on Watkins twice. Facts. Dez Bryant and Deshaun Jackson. They became a national joke. He said a national joke, which is crazy. And I don't think he means the organization as a whole, but when it comes to how they managed the rookie years of Lamar Jackson when he was the cheapest. He goes on. He keeps firing. He says they drafted no Pro Bowl players except for a return guy who badly saw the field, Devin Duvernay. They rolled over for every top pick who asked out rather than actually pay him until Lamar. Hollywood asked out, got him out. They waited 2+ years too long to sign their QB and embraced avoidable years 2 years after I begged them to. Now, he says I, and he uses I in this a bunch. So I don't know if he used to work for them or he was consulting them or he just meaning through his radio show he was saying they need to do X, Y, Z. So that part kind of confused me. Continues to fire on. He says, they kept the strength coach 2 years too long, who players hated and whose super spreader COVID event cost them the 20 season. I personally did a video about the real ops, Steve Saunders, where I talked about all those different things he did, and I felt like he had 9 lives in the organization. So I feel him on this 100%. They waited too long to change their training staff as injuries mounted and players complained and kept playing top talent in preseason while I begged them not to. And JK is still pissed at them for detailing his career. I think that might be derailing, I'm sorry, but it says detailing. Could be either one. They spent less on offense than any team from 19 to 22 and finally paid a wide receiver more than Crabtree, their former 1-year leader in cash. I begged them for a second move tight end after Hurst trade, and they drafted two years later. He continued on. They couldn't get through a press conference without being ripped by national media that used to co-sign everything they did and fired 2 coordinators 2 straight years while pretending they were all in on the Super Bowl. E. Crow, I think not. I should take a victory lap. And I added, I should think not. And he finished with, I got one more. Oh, no, I got more than one more. He says, they'll never get those years back. He championed the Munkin hire and the OBJ move, while much of this town called station or voted and polls to get Lamar out. And that's true, man. This whole contract saga, a lot of people turned on 8. A lot of people said he was greedy. A lot of people, my personal favorite was Lil Greedy. It got ugly, man. This fan base was ugly. So he hasn't spit a lie yet to me. But again, I like the Monkey hire. I really love OBJ. Y'all know that. I was an OBJ fan before he even got here. He finished with saying, A lot of people called the radio station and voted in polls to get Lamar out. I clamor for them to sweeten the pot and keep him. Beg them to get a new OC in 2022. So many psychopaths, sycophants, suck-ups, and fanboys can't handle the truth. Hopefully they've turned the corner, but they beat Allen Deal by $2 million before 2021 and utilized team building, spending and contract mechanisms. They have since becoming a first-take laughingstock. Maybe they've won a home playoff game in the last 10 years. Now, that at the end is kind of a little much, kind of a little adding on to the fire, a little pouring gas on the fire. But most of them tweets, I agree with 100%. Because I think we should have signed Lamar after that MVP season. It would have been a lot cheaper than it is now. Even though he probably would have been coming up on a new deal probably in the next 2 or 3 years if they done that. Hollywood asked for out. They ain't wasting no time. Get him out of there. Other people wanted out. Got him out of there. Steve Saunders was public enemy number one for multiple things. Kept him around. Greg Roman, offense got stale. Now, I agree. Greg Roman was good for Lamar to start his career. I agree 100%. And I don't think Greg Roman did anything necessarily wrong. It's just sometimes you outgrow stuff. And the better Lamar got as a passer, we didn't utilize that. And I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to go hash that back out because Roman is gone now. But now it's looking at the organization, a lot of stuff is in place. And a lot of people don't have excuses. A lot of people don't have excuses. And I'll start at the top. Harbaugh don't have an excuse because if you look at the team, it's a fairly complete team. There are some holes somewhere, but what team don't have holes? McDonald, second year, you got most of the better players on your side. Make it happen. Lamar, the receiver room been turned over. Well, you got what you want. Let's get it. I'm very hopeful for the season coming up. I think a lot. Hold on a second. Sorry. That's my EDC moment. You know, he always have a Coke at the podium. But Lamar, got the receiver room turned over. JK should be back to himself. Gus should be back to himself. And we as an organization, I say we, I don't work for them, don't have excuses. It's time to get it done. At minimum, and I'm saying this today, May 1st, greatest month of the year, birthday in 13 days, May 14th, and it's Mother's Day also. But I'm saying this today. AFC Conference Championship is the minimum, is the floor for us. Barring health issues, AFC Conference Championship is the floor for us. And this is your midday report. Tomorrow we'll start discussing the depth chart. But Canfora was cooking, man. He was cooking. And I don't think he should have to eat crow. A lot of stuff he said was spot on. Tell me how you feel in the comment section. And I'll see you guys at 4:30 for Ravens Daily. We're going to talk draft. Call in, get in early, because I know it's going to be hot and heavy with this draft. A lot of people on different sides of the fence about who we picked. Call in and let's get it all out. Let's talk about it. See y'all at 4:30, man. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. Like, comment, subscribe, join the Patreon. Peace.